Joe's Vegan Guide.
Frog the Fortnight, Frog the Fortnight, Frog the Fortnight. It's a bit like Mark the Week.
Trademark.
Hiya! I'm Gemini.
And I'm Earthman.
And together we are the Vegan Queens, a very regal couple of ladies from that there northern England. What are vegans and what I'd like to tell you about the last fortnight. Although, I don't really like to tell anyone about last fortnight, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm glad we've got each other for company and smiles and shines and, you know, stuff. Because last fortnight's been bloody awful again.
It's terrible. We text Paul the other day, of Paul and Jason Dawn's Vegan Guide, and I said to Paul, what are the girls going to talk about this week? What if we had virus and Tory shitters?
And bullying. Alleged bullying.
Alleged
by
bullying.
Priti Patel, making a 33-year man, he weren't not his age. That's how long he's worked in the office.
Okay.
Spilling the matcha, darling.
Matcha of the day.
Feeling so bullied that he very publicly resigned from his job.
Yeah. In a
What's going on?
fear.
What's going on with our governments
Awful.
at the moment?
Because it's made up of dreadful people.
I mean, we've got these Western governments that are, mind you, I'm very upset with the EU at the moment.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, because I can't remember what she's called.
Angela Merkel, is it?
No, she's like the head of the EC.
Oh, okay, the main one.
Yeah, said Greece is currently acting as a shield for the migrant crisis from Syria.
A shield?
A shield.
She wants to pick her words more clearly.
There are people in this world fleeing war, devastation, violence, threats of murder. What have we become?
It's good though.
What have we become?
Good point. And do you know what as well, actually, good point you mentioned that, because oftentimes the people fleeing war zones and persecution and so on and so forth are fleeing these issues orchestrated by the countries they're fleeing to. So I think they've got a moral obligation to rehouse them.
But everyone's like, oh, they're economic migrants, they're just coming here for, they're coming to live.
And also, I'm
so
not
they
being
can live
funny,
their lives.
but how rubbish is the economic infrastructure in this country? Don't matter whether you've moved here, migrated here, been born here, it's, apart from the top maybe 5% of people, it's rubbish, isn't it? So why would you want to? Don't be sad, don't tell me, don't wee on my leg and tell me it's raining.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
We thought we were recording a bit before. I crosses my legs.
Yeah.
As an incident. Some folk will know what that incident might be. When a drag queen who's wearing a panty girdle crosses her legs and something occurs, and I says to her that were like shoving a Dr. White up my chuff, and everyone knows they were the size of a transit van.
Yeah.
Paul's mother used to send him shop for them.
Really?
Yeah. Wheelbarrow get 'em all.
God, imagine if your mum had created Scooby-Doo, it could have all been so different.
You know what I mean?
Jumping Dr. White's rather than Mystery Machine. Sorry.
So yeah, it's I don't really want to talk that much about the last fortnight, to be honest
Nor do
with
I.
you.
No.
It's I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of Trump. I'm sick of Boris Johnson.
Yeah.
I'm sick of Priti Patel. I'm sick of transphobes all over bloody
Oh
place.
yeah, with their blinking.
We have to talk about
We have
that.
to talk about this with their blinking. Have you
So there's
noticed?
3 members of staff left the Guardian.
Yeah. After Suzanne Moore posted an opinion piece in which she made some frankly bizarre claims, in my opinion, taking in the Roman Polanski issue which came up this past fortnight. Did you see that?
No.
So he won Best Director of a film, or the film won Best Film that he directed. And one of the actresses, who part of the Me Too movement, as we all should be, walked out and said it was an absolute disgrace, which it is. Why are we rewarding the work of let's call it what it is, a child rapist?
Is he convicted?
I wouldn't like to say for definite, but I feel like he has been, yeah.
Just in case. Alleged.
Alleged. But, well, yeah, I think he admitted, didn't he? He had sex with like a young child or something at one point. Anyway, I don't know the full details, so it'd be wrong for me to say that I do, but she'd walked out, and then this was brought in, and then Suzanne Moore decides to take all this and turn it into yet another transphobic attack, couched in because this is how they're doing it at the moment, couched in a concern for women's rights, women's sex-based rights. Nobody would argue against sex-based rights. What I'm going to need for these think pieces to do, though, love, I don't know how you feel in future, is what are those rights?
I think when it comes, can I be frank for a moment? I think this is very important.
Yeah.
I do have a trans issue,
Go on.
and it's only sport related.
Okay.
So there are parts of me, and I do say parts because there are parts that disagree. There are parts of me that agree that we need to be having a discussion about trans inclusion in sports, particularly if, hear me out, somebody was born genetically male,
Yes.
but is female, and therefore has the surgery and becomes who they are. You cannot take away the genetic prowess. You can minimise it, but you can't take it away. So there's an advantage there. If this trans woman then decides that she's going to enter blah 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 female sport,
Oh, blah, blah, blah.
yeah, immediate. So I understand that,
Sort of.
but that's it. That's where I draw the line. That I don't see any issue beyond that.
Well, the
at
thing
all.
is...
And I'm not saying that that's necessarily an issue, but it is an issue because people are talking about it all the time. So a discussion needs to be had.
Right. Well, I think it's funny you should say, actually. Well, two things, actually. One, I see where you're coming from.
Yep.
I would argue propensity, though, because although I'm genetically male, there are numerous sportswomen that I could never beat in anything.
Oh, absolutely. So there,
But, yeah, therein
comes-
lies the conversation, doesn't it?
yes.
And
So
also,
what if
Go on.
you've been during your male life, you've been a cross-country runner.
Yeah.
Then you transition, and you want to continue in cross-country running.
Yeah. I think the future, love, is let's get rid of gendered categories. And I include things like acting as well, like best actor, best actress, just give it to the best performer. That's my take.
But men are genetically stronger than women generally, unless somebody's that's science.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
actual science.
Okay.
We have stronger bones, bigger muscles, bigger build, broader, build, blah 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 blah. So anyway, like we said, very interesting conversation to be out there.
But
And I
maybe it's
love-
about having an interesting and intelligent conversation.
Oh,
about it,
absolutely. That's why
rather
I
than
said
mudslinging. Yeah.
no mudslinging, and don't be bringing in all other kinds of issues and say toilet issues and
Bored of the toilet issue.
because that's all bullshit.
Nonsense.
Utter bullshit. Like I said, and it's took me a while to actually get to the point where I'm like, all right, in sport, maybe there's something that needs to be talked about there,
Unpack a bit.
but only in sport. It's
Right.
the only issue I can
I
see.
hear what you're saying. But yeah, it's not to be. These conversations as well aren't to be used lightly to support people's transphobic agendas.
Absolutely not. It's the transphobia is hatred of someone for who they are.
I think someone summed it up best on Twitter the other day. I can't
You should
remember
never
who it
hate.
was.
Sorry,
Go on.
Go on.
Just said, will you please just leave trans people alone?
Yeah. Well, you should never hate somebody
Yeah.
for who they are.
No.
Talking about whether someone has an advantage in a particular field because of a certain thing is a valid thing that we need to be having in politics, in the world in general. Are you advantaged in this area?
Okay.
I think that's a that I'm not just saying that with the trans issue. I'm bringing that into a. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. Hang on, is this right? You know, we all have a right to ask those questions, but not about inclusivity.
Or focus for.
Yeah, of people as who they are.
No, I agree. Yeah, good point, well made, Carrie. Well done.
Cheers. Spilling the matcha, darling. Now.
So we've dealt with that. No, well, we haven't dealt with it.
No, because I'm sick at last fortnight. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I really don't. It's gone horrible. It's gone horrible out there, and I'm sick of it.
It smells like an old jumble.
I don't know what's happening to the world.
I don't. Well, I do. No, I don't.
Denial and greed.
Denial, greed, me.
Yeah, there you go. That's it, isn't it? Two words.
And as they
Denial
say,
and greed.
and even a vegan will say this: a fish rots from the head down. That's all I'll say. And look who's in charge. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying anything else. A fish rots from the head down.
Now, we've had a question this week.
We have.
So this is our Agony Ant section. Hello, I'm Answer Gemini.
And I'm Answer Asthma.
And we've got a couple of questions what folk have asked us.
Yeah.
Folk give them answers to.
Yeah. And now we'll talk about them.
Yes. Now, we've been asked by Anonymous. What was the question?
Well, Anonymous has asked, as a former marijuana user, they wanted to know if we had any tips, because basically, just to give you a précis of the story, they've stopped using marijuana now for about 7 or 8 months or so, and because they felt that it was having a detrimental effect on them, but they still feel the pangs or the urges, and although they wouldn't go back intellectually, are there any tips for staying on the straight and narrow, of their words? Now,
it should be as simple as measuring the benefits you've felt since giving it up against how you used to be. If there aren't any, is where you get into a bit of a quandary.
or if they're balanced,
am I better?
sort of thing.
Am I doing better? Is more coming from me? Because one thing, I'll demonise lots of drugs, let me tell you.
Oh, I will.
Most of them pharmaceutical. Not demonise them, but just keep my eye on them, you know.
Hear that, big farmer?
After seeing Paul have his own incident with codeine.
Oh yes, of course.
Horrible.
Top you up, Karen.
Horrible. And that was just a pain med.
Yeah.
So I've much more of a problem with pharmaceuticals than I have with nature's gifts.
Yes.
And I consider marijuana to be a gift from nature. I really do. There are so many incredible uses for it. I'm very, very pro legalisation.
Yeah, I would go along with that, yeah.
In every country. And that's because it can be used as a medicine, a food, a fabric, a fuel. The growing of hemp helps the soil.
Yeah.
And is a really hardy crop.
Yeah.
And you know, you can, so I trust nature very much. You know, if nature gives you something that poisons you, such as them nightshades.
Oh, deadly nightshade.
Deadly nightshade.
Yeah.
You know, then you know, don't you, that you must avoid that because it can kill you. There has never been a registered death from marijuana in the history of the world. Of course, there are registered deaths from smoking, and smoking is
Linked to, yeah.
but that's tobacco. People that smoke pure grass, there has never been a death so you've got me in a conversation about marijuana there, lovely.
Well, these are the issues of the fortnight.
So I think you just have to look at you now and you then, and be honest with yourself. Am I free of this substance, better. Has it benefited me? I mean, if you still smoke tobacco, then there's no health benefit necessarily.
Yeah, necessarily.
However, psychological
Could
benefit.
be a psychosomatic
exactly,
thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So I just think you have to carefully measure that.
Yeah.
And be honest with yourself, and don't just tell yourself that things are better if they aren't. Now, I'm not saying, oh, start doing it again.
No.
I'm just saying be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And be really honest with yourself.
It's good advice, Mel. Yeah. The only thing I've got to add to that a little bit is if you're, not wanting to use it again, but presumably you were using it in the first place, at least originally, for a reason, maybe relaxation, maybe, having a reason. Maybe if you can highlight what it was that you wanted from that, and see if there's some way you could replicate that without it, if that's what you want.
And I would bring that back to do exactly the same thing now that you're off it. What did you want from coming off it? And have you got that now?
Yeah, it could be anything. Some people find, if it's relaxation, some people find it in colouring, don't they? I know it sounds daft.
It doesn't sound daft at all.
Or music, reading.
I love my music.
I love my reading, you see.
Couldn't live without my music.
Yeah. And also, one final tip as well, because...
Oh, we must mention, by the way, because, you're all lovely on this channel, Stuart's best friend, my asthma's best friend, Stuart, who's also a friend of mine, has his own channel,
She does?
Called The Library is Open, so I hope you brought your library card. And I popped the link up there.
Oh, I'd love that.
Those vegan guys won't mind.
They won't mind. Well, if they do, they can chew me sock. I wouldn't. But yeah, maybe final thought on that would be because I've not really drunk very much, love, for months, and it's
how
not.
are you feeling?
Good.
Yeah.
Good about it. So I've not quit. I didn't have an issue with it, but I was just like, I was getting to the point
you
where
didn't want to do it anymore.
I didn't really want to do it, no. And but what I did, rather than say, right, I don't drink, I said, today I'm not having a drink. Maybe I will tomorrow.
On a day. Well, that's a great tip for anyone who's cutting out anything or trying to do more of something.
Yes.
Today, I'll smoke less. Today, I will go for a walk.
There you go.
Today, I'm going to get dressed as if I'm going somewhere,
yeah,
even though I'm not.
That's important, that, very much, yeah.
Whatever it may be. And that's, Russell Brand's a big proponent of that in his book. About just, you see each day. That's the thing with addiction, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like
you've got to.
One day at a time. One day at a time, sweet Jesus. That's all I'm asking from you. Who is it? Lord, give me the chance to do everything. Who is it? I've got to do.
Don't know, I'm getting nervous.
It's Paul's mum. Yesterday's gone, sweet Jesus. Lena Martell?
Was it?
I don't know.
Look at me just agreeing. Like I know.
Oh, who sang and lay the blanket on the ground just because we are married? Don't mean we can't fool around. I think it's her.
Yeah.
Answers below. If you know who any of those songs were from, do let us know.
And for more of that, why not catch us live in Manchester at our Easter Bunny She Better Do brunch at Revolution
Bunny
Oxford
She Better Do at Revolution Oxford Road. Tickets you can get from them, and you'll see us perform for 3 hours at least.
Probably about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Even though we were only asked for an hour and a half.
So we're going to be there, and Jason's going to be there as well from those vegan guys.
Jason from those vegan guys.
And I think Paul might be there.
Oh, she's having an epi, I
think Paul might be there.
But yeah, that's a bright spot. Is it? Oh, do you know what else is a bright
We'll
spot?
put link for the Facebook event down there in the description.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't, not in a horrible way, don't ask us because we don't have all the details, but if you contact them directly, they'll be able to furnish you with everything you need to know. They're lovely, they're right nice.
Basically, you pay a set price, you go, you have a bit of lunch. Yes, they've got a vegan menu, of course. You have bottomless cocktails for 2 hours, and you see us entertaining you with loads of songs.
Doing cabaret and outfits.
Loads of songs.
With and all Eastery things. So there you go.
I might shoot an egg or two.
Men is the Friday night. Could like you were popping off then.
Well, you know that woman.
From Priscilla.
With ping pong ball.
Hello.
I'll do it with vegan cream eggs.
Oh God.
My pad won't let
You
me.
get on mine.
Oh,
Can you imagine trying to comb that out?
Third section of the show. It's gonna be quick in this.
Oh yes. It's returned, hasn't it? It's back on the Netflix of Rupaul. Sorry.
If you don't want to know, don't watch. If you don't want to know, don't watch. Go and watch another review, cause we're telling things to you. If you don't want a spoiler, don't watch.
Trademark.
RuPaul's Drag Race is back.
For season 12 on Netflix.
So we'll just show you a quick picture here of all the girls. Look at them. They're pretty and bonny. Loads of looking. All shiny and stuff.
Super.
And we're not going to do a full review show, like we said, because it's a bit much. But we will, at the end of every fortnight episode, talk about the last 2 episodes. In this one, however, just 1 episode.
Just the prem.
Well, next episode will be
a double prem.
The second part of the prem, because they've split it up, haven't they?
Yeah.
2 teams of I
thought. Which were nice, wasn't it? Because you get to know them a bit more, don't you, before one of them's gone.
Do you know what my asthma dashed through?
It has
You get to know them a bit better.
Well, it was lovely, wasn't it? Because in this first episode we saw their entrance looks and they had a chat, and then we saw the spring fashion, fall fashion, and a runway.
Runway with a song, and they all had to write their own verse.
Yeah! So there were like 6 different outfits in one episode.
It was fantastic.
It was good.
It was a good start. Of course, we will be continuing with our full reviews of Drag Race UK from the 2nd season, for sure.
Yes,
we'll be doing that. But we just wanted to, so let's all have a conversation down there about who are your favourites. My 2 standouts
from
are Jackie Cox, Persian Boy, and Gigi.
I were a big fan of Widow, who, spoiler, if you saw her in the lip sync. Well, it was a different kind of lip sync because she weren't in the bottom, was she? We did say spoilers. But like, when you expect at the end, it goes like, you've got a lip sync for your life, but it were the people who've done the best at lip sync, because no one went home this week.
Lip sync for the winner.
Oh, she did this amazing. I mean, I can do the splits, but she threw herself. She did a mini pirouette in the air and threw herself into a box split, and I was like, girl, them legs are thick, and I was living for it.
She loved it.
She's a very cute boy. She's a very cute boy, it has to be said. Yeah, I liked her, and I liked Crystal Method. Are you alright? Yeah, she's answered me. Crystal Method, who I loved, but will absolutely get read for filth by Michelle every week because she's a cosplay sort of queen.
And she does the same kind of makeup, doesn't she?
Which, actually, to be fair...
I've got one routine.
Yeah?
Deal with it. But how can you... Michelle Visage, she barely changes anything about her makeup.
Yeah. Well, she's not a drag
thick
queen.
Black upper and bottom eyeliner, big long false eyelashes.
I'm not hating on her.
Bit of lippy, tinted blush.
She's not a drag queen, I know she thinks she is. And I don't say that because she's female, because there's loads of female queens that are absolutely valid. We've been over this before, but she's not a drag performer. But anyway, irrespective. Actually, loads of the girls do the same makeup all the time. It's just that if she decides she don't like it, that's when it's an issue.
Always the case.
Yeah. I wonder if she'll get on this week, because we've got the I think she's either Korean or Japanese. I wouldn't swear to it. I wouldn't like to say. Rock'em Sakura, who's that big sort of anime makeup. I wonder if she'll get on, because I don't reckon Michelle's going to like that. And it's sad though that it's predictable.
Oh, I know the girl you mean. When I saw her, she reminded me of somewhere between Trixie Mattel and a manga character.
Yeah, that's her. Yeah. So we'll see how she gets on, but I imagine she'll be
I
ready
liked
to
her
film.
makeup. Mind you, it took me a long time to like Trixie's.
Yeah.
I had to get to know Trixie as a queen. I don't know her. She don't come around for tea or anything. Which you always can, girl.
Pop in for a savoury pancake. And a cup of rosé or matcha.
Oh, we'll spill the matcha with you and all. See what happened then? The light went all funny. White balance. Because you did that with the cup.
Oh, I do apologise, YouTube community.
It's Panasonic. Look at there, focused on my hands.
Look at my hands, bunch of bananas. Look.
Look at my face.
It's gorgeous. It's beat the house down boots, mama.
Just in case you're interested, by the way, we actually did a live video doing his makeup today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, we must mention one bright point as well. We forgot to say why we're dressed like all glittery and nice today.
Well, I copied her.
Yeah. Well, shout out to me Aussie Pete. It's just been Mardi Gras in Sydney and we thought, well, goodness knows we need an excuse to throw some glitter on.
Every day is a great day for carnival, yeah!
So shout out to Maria in Australia who went to Mardi Gras and then went home after an hour and had a cup of tea and watched the telly.
I don't blame her.
I don't blame her, that's what I'd have done. Show your face and get gone. Get her phone.
So yeah, she decided to go on Mardi Gras. I decided to wear this little number I got in stale at Primani and wear it with the dress that many of you saw Paul buy for me for £1. Pound, lovely,
what's that?
lovely little dress.
I'll take it off your hands for £1.
My pussy's just gone running from under the table over there.
She's always been unruly.
Such an unruly
It's
pussy.
to prize her off Russians.
Right then, my loves.
That's it, I suppose, isn't it?
This bit we're going to sit down now, a bit more matcha, you know.
Maybe do the Metro crossword, see how we get on.
All these kinds of things, you know. And we'll see you guys in a fortnight for more shenanigans, more answers to your questions, more stuff.
Just bits and pieces, really, with tea.
In general.
That's what it is. But, alright, loves. I've been my asthma. Sorry, I'm going to let you close out, sorry, so I'm just going to shut up then, sorry. I've been my asthma, and I'm your friend.
I've been Gemini, and you've breastfed on me. Don't forget it.
My immune system's rock hard.
See you in a fortnight. Till then, be excellent to yourselves and each other. I could definitely have more tea.
I couldn't know, actually, don't worry.
Let's do it.